Welcome to tonight's presentation of the Pro Basketball Association. If you want pro, you want the PBA.
Triangle Media and 1891 bring you Pro Basketball Association tonight from Home Central High School in Lexington, Mississippi. Good evening, everybody. Greg Allen with you as the Montgomery Knights take on the Mississippi Hawks, and we're underway. The Knights in the traveling blue with the yellow and red numerals and trim, and right off the bat, we get a three-point shot from Jerron Washington Thomas, and we are underway as the Knights lead 3-0. We'll get you through the starting lineups for this one. The Hawks on offense for the first time. Quintarius Porter, Marquez March, Jack Greer as we get a stoppage due to the shot clock issue. Charles Moore and Cameron Brown constitute the starting five for the hometown Hawks. For the visiting Montgomery Knights out of Montgomery, Alabama, it is Washington Thomas with that opening three-point shot. Deontay Brown also on the starting five. Terrell here. Here's a little Euro step move to the cup for Jack Greer with a little layup in the middle of the lane. Makes it 3-2. Adrian Williams and Orlando ties as we sit 3-2 early going in this one. And the Knights with their second offensive trip. Washington Thomas thought about another three. Instead, baseline jumper by Ties won't go. And the rebound down to the Hawks. Both these teams come in with identical 1-5 records. Greer on the move to the right side of the paint. Tries to go reverse this time to put his club in front for the first time tonight. Can't convert. And the rebound down to the Knights. Montgomery comes in with a 4-game losing streak. Basket by Ties makes it now a 5-2 affair. As Montgomery with the early lead, just over a minute gone by. For Mississippi, 2 games ago they posted their first win of the season. It was the start of a back-to-back with the Southwest Florida Blazers. They won that game 122-98. There's a corner three that doesn't go, but underneath an offensive rebound. A couple of tries at it down low and unable to convert down there. Were the Hawks with Charles Moore, and the Knights avoid points going on the board, but off the defensive rebound, they turn it over, and the Hawks get the ball back. Hawks, after that win over the Blazers, turned around and lost to Southwest Florida, 126-89. Corner three won't go. Knights rebound that with Williams, and they'll bring it ahead. My first look at the Montgomery Knights this season, I had the Hawks in one of those 2 matchups against Southwest Florida. Deontay Brown can't convert on the interior. Jack Greer the other way. Give the trailer to Marquez March, and he'll settle it back to the point with Cameron Brown. 5-2. We are at Home Central High School in Lexington, Mississippi tonight. Just after the 4th of July holiday. Hope you had a good one. Home of the Jaguars here, as you can see on the wall on the far side of the gymnasium. To the baseline, and on rim, no good from Quintarius Porter, but an offensive rebound, and the Hawks will reset. Right wing three away, that's no good. Man, the rebounds here in the early going favoring the Hawks with a corner three that doesn't go. Another loose ball, another offensive rebound, and a big block by the Knights. Will keep possession with Mississippi, and they'll inbound just to the left of their own window. Well, some big-time rebound numbers already for the Hawks. And they've gotten some big rebound games. In fact, a couple from the guy who just checked in with the inbound, Antoine Lee. He had 22 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists. How about that stat line? The first time these two teams met this year. Lee out of the corner for a long three that doesn't go from Tay Greer. Rebound tipped, loose. Charles Moore has it. And finally, the Knights will get the ball back as that possession ends with a ball thrown out of bounds. Lee also had 7 rebounds in a game against the Georgia Vipers this year. Right down the heart of the paint. Runner falls off, no, but fouled. And an 8-rebound game along with 30 points in the second of their two matchups against Southwest Florida for Antoine Lee. Knights at the free throw line. One of our first stoppages in what has been a pretty swift-moving first quarter to this point, and a free throw up and good to make it now 6-2. Knights trying to get off the 4-game losing streak here. Their only win was against these Hawks. 93-89 back on May the 14th. 1 of 2 at the free throw line for Terrell Hill. He went for a dozen against the Georgia Vipers in the game this year. Here's Porter for 3, no good. Rebound banged off the window on a nice chase block effort by Montgomery. They lead by 4. Early going in this one, Jerron Washington Thomas. He had the opening shot of the game from 3. Had it there for a moment. Zip pass trying to go inside, but unable to find the intended target. And again, the other way in a hurry is Jack Greer can't finish. Loose basketball. Tager out of the corner underneath. And a shot on rim that just won't go. Well, the Hawks have gotten a ton of shots here in not even 4 minutes of basketball, and they've only gotten 1 to go down. That man right there had the only hoop, and now has got the only 2. Jack Greer has all 4 for the hometown Hawks in this one. They trail by 2. Montgomery. Boy, inside they've had a lot of success at least getting the ball to the interior. Adrian Williams able to convert there to make it now an 8-4 affair. They haven't always been able to score on the inside, but they've had relative ease getting the ball in there. Here's a straightaway 3, and Quintarius Porter knocks that home to make it an 8-7 contest first quarter. Good back and forth effort between these two. Terrell Hill with a driving layup. 10-7. Knights lead, and we get our first in-game timeout. 5:36 to go in the first. 10-7. Montgomery leads the Hawks.
Whoa. Personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the Waterproof Lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you.
Boop. Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish. Get yours at manscaped.com.
The Knights out of Montgomery, Alabama. Both these teams playing out of the Southeast Division in the Eastern Conference in the Pro Basketball Association. Pleasure to have you in the audience tonight. Greg Allen behind the microphone with the call. Hope you're enjoying it this evening. And the Hawks come down floor with Antoine Lee, 6'1". Pass to, not sure where that was intended, across the baseline, and the Hawks turn it over and trail by 3 here in this first quarter. Well, neither one of these teams have been able to get on any kind of a roll here as we reach the midway point of this second season of the PBA. Antoine Lee has the loose basketball at the rebound. He'll try to go coast to coast with a left-hand driver and score it. Lee brings the Hawks to within a penny here mid-first quarter. 4 10-minute periods, and again, on the interior, that lob pass, boy, that was almost there for Adrian Williams. The Hawks, they've been sort of sieve-like here on the interior in this first half of quarter one. They'll have to tighten that down as this game goes along. We'll keep an eye on that. Good way to win basketball games is find points in the paint, because neither one of these teams shoots it very well, certainly from the perimeter. Foul called as the Hawks come into the offensive end. Into the free throw line, Robert Clark will head there. Looks like we get Adrian Williams with the foul. Hawks as a club at the line this year, 66.2% as a team in a 4-game sample size, at least as far as stats are concerned. That one good, though, for Clark. And that ties us at 10. The last time these two met, Hawks only got to the free throw line 15 times and made just over half of them at 8. Second one around and out keeps us deadlocked at 10. A game the Hawks have never led in, but they will have the basketball here as it's tipped out of bounds. 66.2% for the line for the Hawks. For Montgomery's Knights, they're 65.9%. If you want to have a little comparison, boy, Quintarius Porter has hit 2 tough contested threes, including that one out of the corner. And it's now 13-10 as the Hawks lead for the first time. And off the inbound, a turnover, and now Porter's going to go to the line. trying to add to that three-point lead. He's got 6. He's out of Jackson, Mississippi. Went to Forest Hill High School, Tougaloo College as well for Quintarius Porter. And miss keeps it 13-10. Hawks lead. Washington Thomas again on the inside of a great seal pass, and Adrian Williams with an easy layup. And the Hawks are going to have to fix that and fix it quickly. That cannot happen throughout the rest of this game as far as the Mississippi Hawks defense is concerned. They will get shredded if that continues. So the Hawks to inbound with Tay Greer. Up the right sideline, loose basketball. Mark Owens gets a bit of a shoulder, throws a blind pass. That's turned over. Here come the Knights again. On the perimeter with Washington Thomas outside the arc. Head of the circle, Williams. Not yet looking inside on this trip are the Montgomery Knights. Although DeAndre Brown, his three-point shot as he's probing to look inside was blocked. Porter's been a game changer in this first quarter, looking for 2 more. No good, but an offensive rebound comes back to Porter on the end line. Lobs it back out to Mark Owens. His three-point shot no good and tracked down by Adrian Williams. 3 3/4 minutes remaining in the first. There's good defense. And are they going to call that a foul? That's got to be just a clean block by Antoine Lee. And a possession, I would think, with Montgomery. 3:34 clock halted first quarter of a 13-12 game. 13-12. And we get another first quarter timeout. Those are the particulars. We're in Lexington, Mississippi. Triangle Media by 1891. Knights set to inbound as we get back to work. We're late first quarter. Holmes Central High School. Both these teams looking for win number 2 on the year. The inbound. Montgomery into the half-court offense. Down a penny. They led until it was tied at 10-all. Isaiah Haynes out of the corner, goes to the rack, little flip job on the short side of the rim, left it short, and an offensive rebound. Knights can't convert, knocked out of bounds. We'll see who they give possession to. They'll keep it right here with the Montgomery Knights. I can tell why if you look at numbers and you are a stat kind of person. Haynes out of the corner with a lot of contact from Mark Owens. Then they call a travel on Haynes, and so the Hawks get the ball back. Mentioned 66% for the free throw line. You need that number to be a little higher as far as average is concerned. They don't shoot it well from perimeter. Both these teams also have a propensity to turn it over quite a bit. Down low, Mark Owens with an easy runner, and he makes it now 15-12. Hawks lead by 3. We're inside of 3 minutes to go here first quarter. The Knights averaging just over 18 turnovers a game. The Hawks just over 21 turnovers a game. 3-point bomb left wing, that's good. And that will deadlock things at 15-all. Jalen Smith, he had 10 the first time these two met. That's us at 15 apiece. There's a swing pass to the baseline. Charles Moore with the catch down low and a whistle and a stoppage. 2:21 to go in the quarter. Hawk ball to inbound off the Knight foul. We're 15 each first quarter. Eastern Conference, Southeast Divisional matchup. Baseline pull-up jumper. Good. Nice shot by Mark Owens. That's a tough shot when you can't go glass there, but he's able to knock that down to make it a 2-point lead for the hometown club out of Mississippi. Jalen Ford pirouetting on the wing and a little bit of a bump thrown out there. The Hawks clad in the high school home uniforms here for Holmes Central High School. Late quarter one, the Knights with a give and go on the inbound. Was that tipped? Yes, they'll do it again. Jalen Smith will re-trigger on the sideline. Antoine Lee for Mississippi went for 30 points, 8 boards, and 5 assists in their last outing. That loss to the Southwest Florida Blazers. Demetra Cook had 20 and 6 boards, and Marquest March went for 20. There's a turnover off the inbound. Told you the Knights give it up just over 18 times a ball game. And then a blocking foul on Montgomery, and so good defensive position by the Hawks. And ever since we had that discussion about interior defense, and that's got to shape up and stiffen a little bit for Mississippi, they've done a much better job. It's still a small sample size. We're still quarter one. We'll keep an eye on that as we go along. But, boy, in the early 3 minutes, that was an immediate concern for Mississippi, giving up way too many easy baskets and looks for the Montgomery Knights. 2-point ad for the hometown team. Mark Owens thought about the three, put on the deck, goes to the elbow. Back out, Tay Greer with a pump fake three. Coming up on 100 seconds to go in period one. Nice pass, and now Mississippi all of a sudden is scoring on the interior. Although that one I think they're going to wave off. With 1:39 to go in the quarter, that keeps it a 2-point Hawk lead and not 4. Almost a lazy bounce pass in the backcourt. A near turnover by the Knights, and that would have been you'd think, a pretty easy look at 2 points for Mississippi down there. Runner to the left side doesn't go, and the ball knocked out of bounds on a bit of an awkward fall by Jack Greer, but he appears to be okay, and the ball out of bounds. They'll give it to the Hawks. Marquez March, number 2 in white, checks back in for Mississippi. Hawks with Tay Greer in the backcourt to Jack Greer. Lob over the center stripe. Coming up on a minute to go in the period. Tay Greer for 3 and knock it home. Well, Mississippi has done a really good job here as they lead by 5 to the end of the quarter, 20-15. Of a balanced stat performance. Boy, tippy toe in the end line. There's another turnover, although a lot of contact, and they will call that foul. That's got to be on Jalen Ford, I would think. And with under a minute remaining, Mississippi has already put 6 guys in the scoring column. Five for Montgomery, but it's the Hawks who lead by 5. And lately, Montgomery has turned it over, and that has led to the Hawks ballooning this lead to now 2 possessions. A little bit of bump across the foul line. I think Jack Greer was looking for the foul that wasn't called. He just sort of flipped it up there, and no whistle. We play on. The Knights downstairs on the reverse. Tough runner, and that's going to go, and a foul to go with it. That should put, I thought it was Adrian Williams on the bucket. In a now 20-17 game to the line. We'll check the number. But he'll try to add one more and make it a 2-point game. And good. So 20-18. Up, check that. It was Jalen Smith on the basket and one. So 20-18. Hawks out of the corner. Nice pocket pass to Porter. Quintarius Porter's got 8 in a period. He has been rock solid, and it's 22-18. Good find. The other way, trying to go down low for Isaiah Haynes. He peels back around the left wing. His pass to the point, taken away by Tay Greer. Greer, long three. That seemed almost desperation, but the clock was at 20, had plenty of time. Porter, though, with an offensive rebound, and the trip continues for the Hawks. 10 seconds to go in the first. Last shot time for the hometown boys, up by 4. 22-18. Dribble drive, spinning, penetration, wild off window, no good. Jalen Ford rebound. Half-court shot's not going to count anyway, and that takes us to the end of 1. 22-18, Hawks lead Knights. Second quarter ready to go from Lexington, Mississippi. Greg Allen bringing you the call on Triangle Media by 1891. Southeast Divisional matchup. Mississippi, the Hawks lead by 4. Out of the corner, that shot no good. Rebound volleyed for, and the Knights end up with it. Montgomery won the previous meeting between these two and a travel called against Terrell Hill. 93-89. Knights, that was their only win this year. They've lost 4 straight since, losing to the Georgia Vipers, who are in the midst of a tremendous season. Twice they lost to Train to Eat out of the Tennessee area, and those two were sandwiched around a loss to Southwest Florida's Blazers. Ball to the left corner, Cameron Brown over there. Quintarius Porter, a brilliant first quarter with 8. Gives it up to Robert Clark, back into the corner. Probing, shooting, Marquest March. No dice on that 3-point shot. Knights come down floor on a 3-on-2. They're just going to keep it, take it, and score. That was way too easy for Deontay Brown. And Brown out of Tallahassee, Alabama, has had a great season so far. That matchup with Southwest Florida, talking about sandwiched in between the train-to-eat games for Montgomery. Brown went for 14 against the Blazers. The first meeting against train-to-eat, he had a dozen, 16 against Georgia, and 15 along with 7 boards against these Hawks. So he's put up a number, talking about Deontay Brown, number 1 in blue, with a number of double-digit scoring games. Baseline turnaround, knowing the rebounding continues to favor the Mississippi Hawks as Cameron Brown scores and now makes it 24-20. Well, early on, interior defense was an issue for the Hawks. Defensive rebounding was an issue for Montgomery. A couple of substitutions will square things away in a 4-point game early second quarter. Mississippi started their season with a loss to the Knoxville Young Yellow Jackets, who aren't even named that anymore. We'll get into that as we go along. Down the lane, trying to come inside, an offensive foul called on Terrell Hill. After the loss to the Young Yellow Jackets, a loss to these Knights, the Dothan Snipers having a great season as well, just like the Georgia Vipers. The Hawks lost to the Snipers 116-101. They also lost to Georgia 105-93, and then the back-to-backers against the Blazers beat them the first time, dropped the second matchup 126-89. On the move in the paint, Antoine Lee. Back out, straightaway bomb, 3, Porter. He's been good all night, not on that shot. Washington Thomas rebounds for the Knights. They're trailing by 4. Length of the floor effort there for Washington Thomas. Offensive rebound put back right at the rack. No, Lee rebounds that. Here comes a 3-on-3. Oh, flip behind the back. Creative style pass, but a little too far in front of the intended target, who runs down the hallway and out of visibility for a moment. Nice effort in transition, but just a little too far in front of Tay Greer on that little behind the back wraparound pass. The Hawks, after taking an early hit, have really kind of steadied the train here. And another Montgomery turnover. Porter in the open floor ahead of Tice. Going to take it to the hole, put it in. Quintarius Porter, the first in the ballgame to double figures. He's got his club up a half a dozen here. Quickly the other way, Montgomery. Lee defending on the perimeter. Baseline, thought it was going to be a jumper. They go to the interior, no, but a foul called on that shot. Looks like it's on Robert Clark. We'll see if we go shots or baseline inbound after that exchange. Knights will trigger just to the left of their own offensive window here. Matt Sandifer checks in for the Hawks, number 1 there on the defense of the inbound. He's out of Piney Woods High School, went to William Carey University. Spent some time there, along with Pearl River. Back to the point, and a trap. And there's that turnover bugaboo for the Knights. Again, 18.3 on average per game. They had 27 turnovers in their opening game of the year. Now it's game 1, so there's some bugs to work out, but 27 is a huge number. Montgomery had 21 in the first meeting between these two. But you want to talk about a turnover issue? The Hawks had 31 turnovers in the previous meeting between these two against Montgomery. You will win not a lot of basketball games. I won't say none, but not a lot of basketball games when you turn the ball over 31 times in a game. Nice jump shot, Porter for 3. He's gone for 13 here in this first half, and the Hawks have their largest margin of 9. It's 29-20. Quickly the other way. That's going to be a basket, and then 1 and good for Orlando Tice, who's got now 4. Knights need somebody to sort of take charge on the offensive end. 29-22, they trail. Ties to the line for 1. And the Knights, again, as a team, under 66% through a 5-game sample size of stats at the line this year. Ties the first meeting with the Hawks went for just 7 points but 8 rebounds. Had 13 points in the season-opening loss to the Dothan Snipers. He isn't really a high-scoring type of guy, talking about the guy at the line, Orlando Tice, but he does a lot of the other intangibles, rebounds, assists, steals. He went for 8 points, 9 boards, 6 assists against the Southwest Florida Blazers. How about that stat line? I mean, it's not a 30-point night, but 8, 9, and 6. Kind of a do-it-all sort of guy. Ties misses the free throw to keep it 29-22, and the rebound knocked away for the moment, then out of bounds. That should be Hawk ball, and it is. Ties right now stuck on 4 points for the game, and his Knights are down a touchdown at 29-22 second quarter. The pace here in quarter two has not slowed considerably from what we had in the opening period. There could have called a walk there off the inbound. Caught by Porter, had a little bunny hop, able to hang on to it. Ball to the corner, 3 ball away, no good. Rebound Knights, they wanted to run, but nobody up ahead. Now they'll try to thread the needle on a pass up floor to Ties. Eventually found the ball, thought about the 3, and then thinks better of it. They'll reset the offense. But things aren't moving as up and down as we were in the opening 3 to 4 minutes. Here's a nice little drive by Deontre Brown to sort of feel his way down the right side of the paint. 29-24. Deontre Brown has 4. 15 points, 7 rebounds in the last meeting between these two for Brown. They try to go inside to Robert Clark. He couldn't handle it. Might have been tipped off of his own leg, and I think it was, and out of bounds, belongs to the Knights. We approach midway through quarter two here in Lexington, and Quintarius Porter is going to check out. He's been the hot hand for Mississippi. He's got 13 points in the ball game. By far and away at this juncture, the leading scorer tonight. 13 of the club's 29. That just inside the three-point line shot was blocked. Hawks the other way in a hurry. Nice around the back dribble by Moore to get to the rim. Put it in. Charles Moore showing some nimbleness in the open floor, and it's 31-24. Ball and a China shot at the other end of the floor for Jalen Ford, who can't convert. Hawks have a 2-on-1. Kick it to the corner. I thought that was Antoine Lee. No good on that shot. Rebound put back. That's short arm. Then a push to get that rebound, though, is going to be called a foul against Mark Owens. So 31-24. Second quarter, approaching the midway point. 5.5 remaining in the period and in the half. Here's Isaiah Haynes, errant on that shot. One and done. A rebound for Marquez March. Marquez on the perimeter, a pass to Jack Greer. Hawks into the corner. March up to the foul line, gives it up. As we come up on 5 minutes remaining in quarter two. Lengthy possession for Mississippi, and we get a timeout before the expiration of the shot clock, I do believe, called by Mississippi. 5:06 to go in the half. Hawks lead Knights 31-24.
Tour be lit. First of all, to even be on tour, you got to be one of the super duper flies.
People in Atlanta, they love Slutty Vegan, but like outside of Atlanta, it's crazy.
The adrenaline rush that you get from it is amazing.
We do celebrity events, casting calls, video shoots.
When they say it's fresh and ready to go, like it's fresh and ready to go. We do it all ourselves. No machines, no nothing. We literally just got flat tops, grills, and fryers.
Being on the road and being on tour specifically, it's like you're a celebrity.
Been to Boston, Tampa, Alabama a few times, North Carolina.
The fact that we are able to travel together is like a whole different relationship.
I like to call us like we're like Fast and Furious, right? Like it's, we're on the road. We're not in expensive cars or muscle cars, but we're in a big giant yellow truck.
If somebody's got it and they're special and you see it and you want to work somewhere where you can just be yourself, this the place. We make good tip money. You get to meet all types of people and it's fun.
This game has a much different feel to it. Not to say it's good or bad, just different than some of, at least most of, the other games I've seen so far this season. Trying to beat that shot clock, that was inspiring. That should have been a shot clock violation anyway. Shot never hit the rim. Just banged off the window on the wild break from Owens at the other end of the floor. Knights can't convert. Ball loose in the paint. Nice offensive rebound. Put back try and good. And Jalen Ford puts in 2 to make it 31-26. The scoring pace and the tempo overall is slower, but more controlled. So again, that's not good or bad. Here's Matt Sandifer. Bounces a pass around the back. Spot up three, good. 34-26. Knights back down floor with it. And we get a whistle and a stoppage. And it looks like a timeout at the 4:23 mark of quarter two. Mississippi at home leading the Montgomery Knights 34-26. Back to work in the second. I saw the Mississippi Hawks in the matchup with the Southwest Florida Blazers. They lost that game 126-89. We will have a hard time seeing either one of these teams tonight get to 126. That's a lot compared to where we are right now. Here's a Deontay Brown jumper. He's got 6, 34-28 our score. The other way comes Mark Owens. He'll drop it off in the corner. And a turnover by the Hawks. But in a lower scoring game, the Knights have had a bit of an issue with turnovers in this one in this first half, but overall, it hasn't been just wild and hair on fire type basketball. I've seen some other ball games this year easily get into the 1-teens, 120s. Heck, had a game with a Fort Worth firm. I can check the numbers on it. Thought they got to the 160s. 161. Now, their opponent had 39, so it's a combined 200. We might be in that ballpark tonight. But it just has a different feel the way this one's being played. Not to say, again, good or bad. Under 4 minutes remaining in the half. As you can see, 34-28. Knights with it on the offensive end. Kick sideline left in the corner. That's Porter. He's been good tonight. Haynes, rather, beg your pardon. Haynes misses that one. Rebound of the Hawks. March in the offensive end. Here's Porter. His three is good again. Quintarius Porter, 16-point performance in the first half, and the Hawks extend the lead to nearly double digits. Top of the circle floater, short, offensive rebound. Knights continue to possession in the corner, in a bad spot to be against that baseline of the sideline. Try to feed a pass into the interior. Another turnover for the Knights. Owens in the open floor, runner doesn't go. Rebound almost picked up. Now it is controlled by Owens, but then he lost it to the sideline, take it away. And here comes Jalen Smith the other way in a 3-on-2. He'll keep, he'll take, he'll flip, he'll hit, but an offensive foul's gonna wave it off. And the Knights, even when they do put it in the cylinder, they're still not getting credit for points. 37-28. Quarter two from Lexington, Mississippi. Holmes Central High School. The Jaguars. Montgomery on the road tonight. They'll be home to take on the Dothan Snipers, the team they lost their season opener to by 1, 87-86. They'll play them in Alabama on their home floor on the 24th of this month. Hawks into the offensive half court. Then on the road, another matchup with the Southwest Florida Blazers. Between the legs effort with the dribble, but fumbling it was Charles Moore. He'll come down the lane, and we get an offensive foul on that exchange. And then the Knights slated to wrap up the season with 3 games in August. 1 at home, 2 on the road. They get the Music City Kings at home, and then at the Georgia Vipers and at the Dothan Snipers. Right now, it's the Hawks sitting pretty with a 9-point lead, largest lead either way for either team tonight. Montgomery in the paint. Terrell Hill down low. Another. That's 3 offensive fouls we've had in the last 5 offensive trips. 37-28. That means the defense on the interior has stiffened, and for the Hawks, that was an early problem in the first 3 minutes. And that really hasn't reared its ugly head since. They've kind of fixed that issue. Mississippi coming up after this one here at home. They'll be at the Chattanooga Spades, and then a back-to-backer, a home-and-home with Train to Eat before they travel to the Dothan Snipers and home for the Georgia Vipers. Lob pass, top of the three-point circle. Porter feeling it, but missed that shot and give the basketball out of bounds to Montgomery. Talked about the Knoxville Young Yellow Jackets, not even called that anymore. Just general PBA news, if you weren't aware, just over a month ago, May 27th, runner in the paint, no, but the follow's good. Nice offensive rebound put back by Ties. I like Orlando Ties. We talked about him earlier. It's 37-30. The Knoxville Young Yellow Jackets on May 27th moved and changed names. Charles Moore having a hard time coming into the offensive half court. Turned it over. 3-on-1 the other way. Layup, good. Montgomery, good run here at the end of the half. Brown with 8. And they've cut this thing to a 5-point margin, 37-32. They were in a spot down 9. If the Hawks could have put a couple of possessions together, they could have really built a comfortable lead. Here's Moore on the offensive end to catch the steal, spin and score. And we get a foul to go with that as well. And Charles Moore to the line for one. I think we do. Moore's got 4. He went for 10 points, 4 boards in the previous meeting between these two. He makes it 39-32 and tries to give the Hawks 40 with 1 at the stripe. Charles Moore had 20 against those Knoxville Young Yellow Jackets. May 27th, they moved their program to Chattanooga, Tennessee from Knoxville and rebranded themselves as the Chattanooga Spades. Spades as in the suit for playing cards. Free throw good, 40-32. Moore with 5. The logo is pretty sharp. So if you see Knoxville Young Yellow Jackets, they were a program to start this PBA season, but then sort of retransformed into the Chattanooga Spades. The rest of that Southeast Division consisting of the Triangle Pacers, the Whiteville Cool Cats, Seven City Vets, Palm Beach Cougars, and some of the others we've already named like the Music City Kings, Snipers, and Vipers. 40-32. We're late in the second, and we find Isaiah Haynes at the free throw line. Zebras talking in Jaguar country. We have a clock issue, perhaps. A lot of pointing at the scoreboard. In any event, Isaiah Haynes is there. And he's got his first point of the night. He went to Lanier High School. 40-33 second quarter. 84 ticks away from half. Haynes misses there, but an offensive rebound putback try, and converting is Jalen Ford. And a three-point exchange on that end of the floor favoring the Knights, and they cut it to 5. Well, a couple of times Montgomery's really gotten the spot here, a near takeaway, and they get a reach-in foul called instead. They were down 9 earlier, straightened. That lead ballooned back out, and here again straightening, find themselves down just 5. It'll be Hawk ball to inbound with Robert Clark. All right, heck with that. We're going to the free throw line with Mark Owens. Mississippi in their first game of the year got to the free throw line 23 times against those aforementioned Young Yellow Jackets. Made 16 of 23. Montgomery went to the line 34 times against Train to Eat and made 22 of it. We were talking earlier about neither one of these teams outstanding at the free throw line. Mark Owens, after splitting 2 free throws, has now 5. Isaiah Haynes at the other end has 3 in a basket. Kick near sideline. This is Cameron Brown for 41-37. Little right side of the lane floater for Tay Greer that finds bottom. And it's 43-37. Ties at the other end, no, but fouled. And Orlando Ties going to the line here. Under a minute remaining in the half. Just after the 4th of July holiday for the Montgomery Knights, their general manager and vice president, Phyllis House, celebrating a birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to the Montgomery Knights GM and VP. Seven for ties on the converted free throw. 5-point game. That birthday for Phyllis House coming up tomorrow. One more for ties. Good again. He's got 8. So 43-39 is where we sit. Last 3/4 of a minute from Lexington in the second. Nice up and under layup for Matt Sandifer. He converts, and it's 45-39. Half a minute remaining. Left the lane forward, no. Hawks could hold for the final shot and take a comfortable lead if they can make a basket into the locker room at the intermission, but through the hands. And you got to give Quintarius Porter at least one opportunity to make a mistake, because there has not been many here in the first 20 minutes for him. 16 points. He's played a tremendous first half, but he fumbled that catch and turned it over. Here comes Haynes the other way in a hurry. Kick out, open. Washington Thomas started the game with a 3, and he's going to finish the first half likely for his club offensively with a 3. His only points tonight, and it's 45-42 Mississippi. No look pass into the corner for 3. Off the mark, rebound, put back at the buzzer. Coming, Porter can't convert. He wanted a foul, but he didn't get it, and the half will run out. Intermission in Lexington, 45-42. Hawks lead Knights.
When I came home from prison in 2001, I had a tough time finding a job. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? When you get to that part of the application, your heart starts beating fast, your hands become sweaty. It doesn't matter your education or work experience. That's gonna be the determining factor.
What's up, man?
What's up with you?
Nothing, man.
How you getting it, man?
Regular military, got no size.
I would fill out an application and they tell me that they're not hiring, but they got now hiring signs on the window.
Did that make you go back to doing some of the things that you were doing before?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they forced you to.
Set up.
It's like set up. It's systematically set up for you to have to go back. I was 3 years old when the U.S. Marshals came, beat down the door, and got my dad. Maybe like 5 the second time. I just kept asking my mom, like, yo, where's my dad? Where's he at? He would tell my grandmother, I'm not trying to do that no more. I'm trying to get my life right.
What up, boy? What's up with you, boy? Good to see you. Good to see you, man.
Being a barber changed my dad. Being able to have a community that he can turn to when he needed something, that helped him a lot.
That was a hard moment for me last week.
All those ups and downs that you've been through, to look at you now, I'm so proud of you. I'm happy to call you my dad, man.
What you just said right there is what it was all about. Everything that I've done was for that. Now I can retire. So I can retire now. Old man still got it.
Ooh, now that look good, man.
Shoots a 3 and bangs it in at the buzzer. On one right, Kristen Pierce with the alley-oop.
Second half of basketball, Triangle Media in 1891, bringing you the Pro Basketball Association. Greg Allen from Lexington, Mississippi tonight. And the hometown Hawks, a lead of 3 to start quarter 3. Tay Greer with a basketball to open it up. They go with a shot from the left side. No. Follow is up and good, and that was Tay Greer, who's got 7. And it's now 47-42. The Hawks took them a while to get their first lead, but since they've acquired that lead, have held on to it for pretty much the majority of the rest of the game. Now, it's not been a sizable, huge lead. That was a rushed shot. No good on that. Looking for the offensive rebound. Porter had it raked out of his hands. Terrell Hill trying to come up with the basketball and tied up near the center stripe, and we get a whistle to halt that exchange. Just underway in the third, and a stoppage, and we'll wipe up the wet spot on the floor. 47-42 in the third. Again, 9, the largest lead either one of these teams has had. And that came at 37-28. Mississippi had it in the third. Right now, 5. The largest lead for the Montgomery Knights was, now this is early in the game, 4. They led 6-2. And since giving up the lead after a 10-all tie, we were tied once again at 15, and that's been it. It's been Hawks the rest of the way. It was a 3-point game at the half. Montgomery actually outscored the Hawks 24-23 in the second quarter, only by a penny. And the lead right now 5 as we're back to work. Pass to the left wing, Deontay Brown. Guarded by Jack Greer. Minute gone by in the third. Down the lane runner, no. Rebound, put back up and in by Adrian Williams, who's got 6. Adrian Williams has got some length. He's only listed 6'1", but boy, seems to play a little bigger than that. That 3-point shot by Greer was blocked. And now a trip for Montgomery with a 3 that could tie it. They almost thought about trying it right there, but back inside to Williams. I like that approach. Williams has just gotten you a basket, go right back to him, and he cuts it to 1 at 47-46. Hawks the other way to the corner. Line up the 3 ball, good. Antoine Lee. He's been held to 5 in this game. That's low for him. He busted out 30 in the last outing for the Mississippi Hawks. They lead 8:27 to go in the third, 50-46.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
I tell people all the time, this is the best American story you never heard.
We're out hitting the pavement, talking to restaurants, talking to bars.
I don't think of myself as a whiskey salesperson. I want you to know his name.
Drink by drink, we're bringing this story to light.
When we have to step back through the pages of history.
It's so much more than whiskey. It's so much more than a brand. It's a movement.
When we have to make amends and pay respect.
We're honoring the greatest whiskey maker the world never knew. And it's beautiful.
And give credit where credit is due.
Uncle Nearest is the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, and the world needs to know it.
What happens? We do it. Uncle Nearest, it's more than whiskey.
Knights back with it, back to work third quarter. Yeah, you can contain Antoine Lee a little bit if you're the opposition. That will go a long way to helping your cause against these Hawks. There is a 3 ball from the right wing and nothing but twine for Terrell Hill. He's got a 6-point ball game. It's again a margin of 1 at 50-49. And is that a Hawk turnover? Knights think it is. The official says no. Keep it with Mississippi. Clark to inbound. Throw that all the way into the backcourt. No reset as they come over the timeline. Jack Greer all the way to the cup. And he traveled to get there. So now any kind of field goal for Montgomery. And the group out of Alabama can take their first lead since 10-9 in quarter one. Although Orlando ties having a hard time in the backcourt. Got around two now. Three guys and a nice pass to a cutter. And that layup is good. And the Knights do indeed have the lead in the basket by Deonte Brown. 10 for Brown. And a travel in the backcourt by the Hawks. Montgomery's going to get it again. Leading 51-50. Their first lead since 10-9 in the first. Just over 2.25 minutes gone by in the third. Each team 1-5. And Montgomery's lone win against these Hawks. The Hawk win came 2 games ago against Southwest Florida. Tough shot underneath, but that's because there was contact, and that's going to put Jerron Washington Thomas at the stripe. Up 1, the Knights. The Knights have 3 games left this year against some of the top-tier teams in the Eastern Conference, as Washington Thomas has 7, good in the first one. 2 against the Dothan Snipers and 1 against the Georgia Vipers. Both those teams have been rock solid this season. The Hawks have 1 game against each of those teams. Second one, no dice. 2-point game, Knights lead. They're on the road in Lexington tonight, Holmes Central High School. That's where we are in what they're calling Jaguar country. Putback doesn't go off the initial miss. Here comes Ties with the rebound. He'll drop a pass off to Brown in the corner. Jumper, no. Rebound, Williams, putback, yes. Well, Adrian Williams has been a game changer here in the third. He's got 10. It's 54-50. Knights lead by 4, matching their largest lead of the night. Tough move by Robert Clark at the other end, no good. Montgomery the other way. Ties a little out of control, trying to run a loose basketball down to the end line and ends up out of bounds. $6:54 rather, third quarter. Mentioned this early, we didn't really give you any numbers to back this up, but the fact that neither one of these teams shoots it very well. 5-game stat sample size for Montgomery, 4-game stat sample size for Mississippi. Montgomery shoots it from the floor at 39.3%. Hawks 38.2%. Sandifer on the end line. Pass to the point, never got there. 2-on-1 the other way. Nice thread the needle pass, and the conversion good. Washington Thomas to Hill. Hill's got 8, and it's 56-50, and it's been a good third quarter so far for Montgomery. They have turned a 3-point, then early 5-point third quarter deficit into a 6-point, maybe more lead here. 3-ball, Hill up. Oh, it didn't go. Rebound knocked out of the hands of one of the Hawks, and a foul on that exchange as well with 6:14 to go in the third. Hey, under 40%. That's, you need that number. You want that number to be a little more. But the 3-point shooting numbers for both these teams are miserable. Now, we've had a few go in tonight, really. It's not the forte of either one of these teams. The Hawks are the better of the two statistically at 28.9. 28.9, while the Knights are 24.7% from 3. That is not a user-friendly number. And you throw those poor shooting numbers in with some of the more elevated near 20 a game turnover numbers. You're starting to understand why these two teams are each 1-5. Knights have had 100 hung on them twice this year. Hawks no good there. Rebound belongs to Washington Thomas. He's got a teammate up ahead. And an easy pass. That's unselfish play by Washington Thomas. Nicely done. And the layup good for Isaiah Haynes, who's got 5. And now it's the largest lead of the night for Montgomery at 8. Back down to 6 on a runner by Robert Clark, and it's 58-52. 3-point shot the other way off the mark. Clark rebounds that miss as we come up on 5.5 to go in the third. Just over the timeline, almost an over and back, but Charles Moore did a nice job to establish in the forecourt before he got that pass. Goes inside to Mark Owens, who can't finish. Tried to get his own rebound, and it went off the hands of the Knight. Mississippi has seen teams score 100 or more 3 times against them this year, all losses. Their 2 other losses, they've given up 93 and 95. Off the inbound of the crowd, down low in the post, getting out of traffic and unable to catch up with that basketball, Charles Moore. And there's a turnover for the Hawks. Boy, you had the ball like within a foot of the cylinder, and you ended up going back beyond the three-point line at a turnover instead. So the Knights up by 6. They had an 8-point lead moments ago. High screen and a good one from Williams, trying to free up Terrell Hill. Hill to the sideline, gets the ball back. We come up on 5 to go in the third. Greg Allen from Lexington, Mississippi tonight. Bounce pass to the end line, never got there. Good idea by Isaiah Haynes, but he didn't throw the bounce pass in the right spot. Now a lead pass. Marquest March with a runner on rim, falls in. His first 2, and Marquest March makes it 58-54. There's a guy that's got potential to score. He went for 20 in the most recent game against Southwest Florida. Williams, great baseline spin. Better defense, though, that time. And Charles Moore, it's kind of been a rough game for Moore so far, but that time, great hands to stay with the spinning and pirouetting Adrian Williams and get that block. We get a mid-third quarter timeout. 4:45 showing it's a 4-point lead for the visitors out of Montgomery. Knights to trigger. Up by 4. Williams outside the circle. Now to Deontay Brown. Stop and go move. Pushed to the sideline by Charles Moore rather. Here's a floater, end line, no. The tip though is good. Is that Williams again? I think it is. And then a little chirping after the fact. Adrian Williams has 12. With 4:25 to go, it's 60-54. Then we get some barking near the center stripe. And boy, Williams and Charles Moore almost nose to nose on that exchange. And we get a double foul called against each by the official. That'll be Adrian Williams, 15 there in blue, and Charles Moore, 23 in white. There'll be double technical fouls. That's going to be pretty much for bookkeeping only. I don't think we're going to get any shots here. At 60-54 in the third. These two teams have played the game hard. I give them that, but there hasn't been anything until that little skirmish right there that has resulted in any kind of nastiness. It's been good, clean, hard basketball. The last 45 seconds to a minute notwithstanding. We got to get Adrian Williams off the floor, and I think they're going to do just that. He's still having words with people on the sidelines. They'll get him off and bring Jalen Ford back in. Now, Williams was certainly not happy, and Charles Moore wasn't either for Mississippi. So we'll get back to work. It'll be Hawk basketball when this is ready to get back to play. You see there Quintarius Porter walking through your screen. He had 16 points in the ball game. A great first half. Really hasn't been much of a factor here in the second, but he was a big reason. The Hawks took a lead to the locker room and at one point had a 9-point advantage. And we have gotten into a weird moment in this game. Now there is a lot of yapping, a lot of standing around, a lot of talking, and not a lot of basketball. Matt Sandifer on the far side, I have no idea what he's doing. He's found a new fan over there. And we do get an exchange that's going to warrant technical free throws from Brown. The Tallahassee, Alabama product. Tries to extend the Knight lead, and that free throw did not look good. 60-54. We are all stopped middle of the third here. See if we can't get back in the flow of this thing. All right, Hawk basketball. Antoine Lee. Still surprised that Lee has only scored 5 points tonight. And Porter got fouled going to the rack, so he'll go to the line. I mean, Lee has games of 22, 21, and 30. 3 games, 20 or better this year for Antoine Lee. Not tonight, just 5. First one good for Porter, 17 for him. Trying to make it here a 4-point game as we approach 4 minutes in the third. Quintarius Porter nails a pair. He's got 18. Knights on a kick out. Hill gonna penetrate, flip it behind him to a teammate. Coming into the lane, Ford ran into a defender, didn't know what to do with it. And then a little bit of a circus shot, but an offensive rebound. And the Knights contain possession with 4 minutes and now less than that remaining. Wide open, good look at a 3, too strong, no. Ford, that's Jalen, offensive rebound. Love the pump fake. He got his man in the air, went underneath him and drew a foul. That's a great move and a much underappreciated move these days in basketball. That little pump fake, and Jalen Ford is going to the line because of it. That was well done. I'm not sure if underappreciated is the right word as opposed to underused. Trying to extend a 4-point Montgomery Knight advantage here. 60-56. After trailing at one juncture by 9, the Knights at one point since then have opened up an 8-point lead at 58-50. This one's been tight all the way. And even though a lot of the numbers between these two ball clubs, and we've given you a lot of them, as Ford makes 1 of 2, he's got 5. They're fairly even between the two clubs. Neither shoots it real well. Both have a propensity to turn it over quite a bit. Well, he made 1 of 2 free throws. Now what are we doing? It should just be Hawk ball out of bounds, right? Made 1 of 2, 61-56, and away we go. There we go. That's right. 3:52 to go in the third. So on paper, the matchup is fairly even between the two of them. They played earlier to a 4-point final. The way this thing has gone shouldn't surprise anybody. Out of the corner, Lee, no. 1 and done with a rebound by his numeric counterpart, Terrell Hill. Swing pass up floor. Ford to the rim. Nobody picked him up. Finger rolls the layup up and in. He's got 7. And Mississippi is getting themselves in a spot here where they better be careful. Down by 7. We're in the third, better than halfway through it. Shot at the underside of the rim. Ford. It's a 4-on-2 for the Blue Shirts. The Knights don't play that real well. Haynes lost it, but may have drawn a foul coming down the right side of the lane. But other than that, that was not a well-utilized 4-on-2. Haynes will get to the free throw line, however, in a 63-56 game that has 13-12 to go in it. Haynes with 6. So you probably shouldn't be surprised that these two have played for pretty much from start to current a tight game throughout. The Lanier High School product misses the second. Defensive rebound, Mississippi. And after the Jack Greer catch, we'll get some subs in. Well, whoever gets out of here, it's win number 2. If it's Mississippi, that means Montgomery's losing streak would reach 5. This third quarter has just been, broken's not a strong enough word. We've had all kinds of issues, and we had a really good pace going all the way through the first 2 quarters. I don't know if we've got an issue with possibly the shot clock at the scores table. Something over there on that sideline between the benches. Now ready to get back to work as we have things sorted. Now definitely an issue at the table as we get a better look over there. Back to basketball, 3 minutes in the third. That jump shot is good, and a foul to go with it. Oh, for Quintarius Porter. And that's kind of exactly what the doctor ordered for Mississippi. That is a 3-point shot and the foul to make it 64-59. Porter's got 21 and now 2, and he has been really good at the line tonight. So 64-60, takeaway. Porter, 2 more, coming here. 2-point game, 2 dozen for Quintarius Porter. Boy, what a last couple of moments for Porter, who really didn't factor much in the third after owning the first half. And he's got a 6-0 run individually to bring the Hawks within a deuce. And Montgomery, who seemed to be pulling away, now have just a 2-point lead. Ties out of the corner, no good. Rebound, Hawks have it. Trying to gain controlled possession. They do with Greer, down low for the tie. Oh, missing that turnaround was Cameron Brown. That would have tied us at 64. Instead, the other way come the Knights. Orlando Ties has it, out high in the left wing. Now to the right side, coming up on 2 minutes remaining, and a travel called against Montgomery. They really have done a better job tonight, Montgomery has, between these two teams just this evening alone, of limiting turnovers. I feel like Mississippi's had the higher number in the turnover count and the tendency to get a little more ragged with some of their passes. Down the lane, the show and go effort to the basket, Jack Greer. Ball knocked out of his hands. It'll stay right here with Mississippi. Well, a hoop here would tie it. 3-pointer puts them ahead. Antoine Lee. He can be a scorer. He's scored just 5, though, here tonight. He knows what he wants off the inbound. I'm not sure if he wanted his guy trapped on the sideline with a double-team straitjacket. Trying to get out of it, Jack Greer does. Greer gets the ball back. Good pump fake, not bought by Jalen Ford. And Ford is going to end up fouling Jack Greer. Boy, Greer was pulling out every move in the bag on Jalen Ford, and Ford wasn't buying any of it, but Greer did just enough to get to the line. So I guess when it's all said and done, you can say that Greer won that battle, although no points on the board yet. 64-62 goes to 63. One more, we'll see if Jack Greer, who's scored 5, can tie it with this shot. Haven't been tied since 15 all, and we are now. So new ball game at 64 up, third quarter. And falling down with the basketball was Jalen Ford. Lob pass the other way. Tay Greer wasn't in a spot to get a shot away. He had to go underneath the basket and out the other side. And then the Hawks turn it over. Here come the Knights the other way. The show and go Euro step. Was that a travel? No, they keep it alive. Jalen Smith with the offensive rebound off the miss. Right side 3 and good. By the Knights with Washington Thomas. He has hit some big threes tonight. 3 of them to be exact. 67-64 Montgomery. Final 80 of the third. Antoine Lee back to work offensively, has to give it up. Porter into paint, forces one, no. Rebound of the Knights. 3-point margin, visitors. On the move out of that corner, Jalen Ford. Front rim, the first effort, put back no, but fouled. And Jalen Ford, who's scored 7, is going to the line for a couple. We're stuck at 1:08 to go in the third of a 3-point game. This really has been an entertaining basketball game. If you're one of those folks that's a basketball fan and you just look at record and you think, 1-5 versus 1-5, how good of a ball game can this really be? This has been entertaining, competitive, close, tight, back and forth. We only had one little kind of mini stretch in the third that kind of bogged things down, but other than that, it's had good pace. That stretch in the third has slowed this quarter overall. This will be the longest of the three quarters, no doubt, time-wise. So 67-64 after we get the floor back ready for play. Jalen Ford at the line. That wouldn't surprise me at all if we play the remaining 11:08 and we are tight down the stretch. Ford with now 8. Coming up on that end of quarter break here at Holmes Central High School. And the second one, no good. Mississippi rebounds, so 68-64. Hawks on the short end of that. Could have called a bit of a push off. Not called against Grew, then missed the ensuing shot. Rebound, Ties going hard down the lane. Could have called an offensive foul there. Did they? No, they're calling a block. The basket's good, but an and one. Orlando Ties in the open floor, having one of his higher scoring games. He's got 10. And it's 70-64. Ties had 13 in the opener against Dothan. Half a dozen point lead here in the third, trying to make it 7. Ties will get 1 at the stripe. I think of everything I've seen tonight, and I guess part of it is I've seen Mississippi earlier this year. Get back to that thought and see what Ties does here. Good. So a 71-64 affair. Ties has 11. Mississippi, just a week ago, played at Southwest Florida. That shot no good. Rebound underneath. Knights end up with it. It was a game in which Southwest Florida's Reuben Berry was a huge mismatch problem for the Hawks and had 24. But Antoine Lee went for 30 in that game. Tonight, Lee has been held to 5. That's maybe the most surprising thing for me that's happened so far in this entire game. 5 for a guy that routinely scores double figures. We're at the free throw line here with the Knights up 7. 71-64 in the third. And it stays there. And the ball out of bounds will go to Mississippi. Now, both these teams trying to sort of figure things out for the stretch run here in this second half of the PBA season. But a win here would certainly help whoever's going to get it, their cause. That turnover was a bad one right at the rim. Almost another immediate turnover. Jalen Smith had the first hoop. Jalen Ford thought he had the second. They made the second one off on a travel, and it's 73-64. And that was a terrible exchange for the Hawks. You don't want turnovers right underneath your own defensive window. And on the offensive end, that reverse attempt by Robert Clark, no good. And the Hawks get called for a travel on their offensive end. And now Montgomery with a chance to get the final shot of the third. They lead by 9, which is their largest lead of the night. It matches the Hawks' largest lead of the night. That came at 37-28 of the second. And now a little scoop flip shot, no good by Ford. Put it back up, that doesn't go. How about a third crack at it? No, yes, I beg your pardon. Up high off the window, in and fouled for Jalen Ford, who's got 10. Well, I didn't give him a chance to put that third shot up and in. And it's 75-63. It has been a close to the third for the Hawks that may sink their ship the rest of the way. As even as these two teams have played all night long, it's the first double-digit lead of the night, and they're trying to add one to it to make it a dozen. And he does. Ford's got 11. It's 76-64, and a big collision near the center stripe as the clock winds out here in this third quarter, and one of the Knights slow to get up. Fourth quarter, 76-64, margin 12. How about a 34-19 third in favor of Montgomery? Second chance for Mark Owens after he missed the first, but his teammate Robert Clark got an offensive rebound, and then Owens got fouled. He'll go to the line here as we start the fourth. Well, a 15-point swing in favor of Montgomery in that third quarter. And that's the reason they turned a 3-point halftime deficit around into a 12-point lead. Owens has 6. He's out of Ridgeland, Mississippi. It's 76-65. Owens for one more. 66, he's got 7. So they cut it to 10. Washington Thomas almost traveled with it. I think just threw it to get rid of it before he fell down. Owens back out it offensively for the Hawks. They need a little mini stretch and a mini run here. Owens trying to give it to him, can't convert on that runner. Rebounded to Washington Thomas. Giron the other way, steps up to the top of the circles and dishes. Opening minute of quarter 4 from Lexington, Mississippi. 1891 coverage presented by Triangle Media. And Greg Allen with the call tonight for this one, and there is another 3-point shot. And we told you at the outset, neither one of these teams shoot it real well. I'll give them this. Montgomery has shot the 3 ball fairly well tonight. That last one from Washington Thomas. And then at the other end, Quintarius Porter has had a breakout game. He's got 27. Williams misses in the paint. Porter rebound and the quick outlet. After the two teams exchanged threes, we sit 79-69. A flip inside. Porter draws a foul. He'll get to the line. Well, I like Quintarius Porter a lot. 27 tonight. He's converted on 6 3-point shots. He's at the line here for 2. And now has 28 in the ball game. That cuts it to single digits. He'll try to make the margin 8. Mississippi's made 8 threes as a team. Porter with 28 stays there as he misses the second. It's a 79-70 game and another Knights turnover. That's one thing that could help get the Hawks back in the ball game here. Just give them possessions and give it to Porter and make him make threes. 31 for Quintarius Porter, and it's 79-73. Just trying to strap the Hawks to his back and lead them back in this game as we played almost 2 minutes of the fourth. 79-73. Porter's got to get a touch next time down. That was not a good shot by the Knights. That was ill-advised, a long perimeter 3. Down the lane, kick near side. On the move, Lee. He can score it, doesn't there. It has been a rough outing for Antoine Lee. On the take to the basket, he couldn't finish. Porter didn't get a touch last offensive trip, didn't like that. Lob pass to an unexpected teammate in the corner. No good there. Rebound Lee. His outlet pass to Tay Greer. Coming down the lane, Owens got mugged on the way to the basket, and he'll get to the line. Quintarius Porter, their number 0 in white. 31-point performance after the 3-point shot. Made it a 6-point game. Owens with a couple of big free throws. Oh, and you are the team trailing in a ball game. These are large. Owens has 8. They hit a couple of shots, get a couple of free throws, and then all of a sudden, the Hawks looked like they walked to the proverbial end of the cliff. And they're a free throw away from being down 4, and Owens converts. And as much as we talked at the outset and throughout the first half, really, about the fact that neither one of these teams shoot it real well, they have shot it well tonight, both from free throw area and the three-point line. There's a top of the circle 3, good for Isaiah Haynes, who's got 9. 82-75. Lee. Now Porter, off the corner, got a screen, finger rolls it up and in. 33 for Quintarius Porter. 82-77, Porter going for a loose basketball, gives to the trailer. Kick out, Owens, big 3 in the air, didn't go. Rebound offensive though, did he step on the end line? I think he did. Boy, that's a great read by the official. I know Antoine Lee's not gonna like that call. That referee was right there to see that foot touch the end line from Lee, and that is a tremendous call. $82-77. Played just over 3 minutes of our final stanza. Knights trying to snap a 4-game skid. Hawks trying to win their second in their last 3 games. To the baseline, Hill up. Count it, and a foul. Was waiting to see if we went offensive. We go defensive, and Terrell Hill has got 10. And the Montgomery Knights have 6 guys in double figures in a game where they've only scored 84. That's impressive. And it stays at 84 on the missed foul shot, but an offensive rebound, and now they get a chance for more. Hill off the curl. We'll just straight up let it go from 3. Rim it off, no good. Greer rebounds. Well, the Hawks better stiffen here in the fourth quarter. They're down 7. This guy has helped the cause, although not that time. Rebound, Washington Thomas off the missed Porter 3. And a finger roll laying at the other end, good. And a foul coming up as he got hit in the head. That's Haynes again. Haynes all of a sudden starting to score. He's got 11. And the lead to 9. And you can see right in front of you, Mark Owens trying to contain an unhappy Antoine Lee. Haynes went for 12 points and 6 boards in their opener against the Snipers. 15 points, 6 rebounds in the previous meeting with these Hawks. Tonight has scored 11. He's got 1 shot coming his way at the free throw line. Trying to give his club, again, a double-digit lead of 10, and does. Isaiah Haynes with 12. It's 87-77, approaching 4 minutes elapsed in the fourth. Porter at the other end, no dice. One and done, rebound, Haynes. All of a sudden, Mr. Do-It-All. Hill up and good. And the Knights shooting it well here in the fourth. 89-77 a takeaway. Hill again. That one falls off. I missed the easiest one of the whole quarter. But give to the trailer. Williams gonna hit and get fouled. And the Knights are pulling away. Adrian Williams with 14. He, Haynes, Washington Thomas, Hill, Ford, and ties all in double figures. And they have opened up the largest margin tonight. Either way, it's a 14-point Montgomery Knight lead. And now the Hawks are getting in a situation where time is becoming an issue. 15 for Williams, 92-77. And hard of the basket at the other end. That's going to be an and one for Charles Moore, who's got 7. And that can break the 80 plateau for the Hawks if Moore can convert. A 92 with 5 and change to go in the fourth is maybe a little higher than I would have thought at this juncture, given the way the first half was going. Williams rebounds that missed foul shot. 92-79, double teamed out of the corner. Williams spot up from three, didn't take it, but he'll give it off to the right wing, and that one is good for Washington Thomas, who's gone for 16 now, and it's 95-79, and the Hawks are in deep trouble. Sandifer off the wing. Back to the point. Back to Sandifer. Screen from Greer, three in the air, short. Rebound offensive for Porter, who's been one of the best players on the floor tonight, although that one not withstanding off the miss. Rebounded by Haynes, lob the other way, no good. It got tipped back to Deontay Brown. He put it in, he's got a dozen. And a timeout on the floor at almost the exact midway point of the fourth quarter. 91-79, Knights lead in Lexington.
Whoa, personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the waterproof lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you.
Boop.
Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish.
Get yours at manscaped.com.
Already a 21-point output here in the final stanza for the Knights, and we've got over half the quarter left. That is some kind of pace here in this fourth. And the Hawks. Floater in the lane, no good. And, well, that looked like a possible ankle injury for the Hawks down at the offensive end. Slow to get up, and now they come back down floor. And they will stop play with Tay Greer. He was the one that went down behind the play. He immediately started clutching for the leg. Now you're down 18 right now if you're the Hawks against a team that has put 21 on the board in the quarter already. You're going to have a lot of things change over the next 4 minutes and a little extra here in this fourth if you're Mississippi to have things end up in the win column tonight. Let's just put it this way. Things aren't trending in your direction if you're the Hawks. They'll inbound, back to work. They get Tay Greer off the floor. They bring Marquest March back in. That floater, no. Nice job by Robert Clark to go establish yourself before you get the rebound, and it turns into 2 points for his club. That was a smart basketball play. Charles Moore got the bucket. He's got 9. It's 97-81. That's a play a lot of guys will just go grab that ball and just sprint in from out of bounds and not establish position on the floor before they touch it, which results in you not maintaining possession as Greer looks like he's walking back to the scorer's table to check back in. Another heady play by Robert Clark. One of those just kind of unnoticed things. I noted it. Washington Thomas not the greatest of passes and ends up being a Knight turnover. So we'll see if Greer comes back in. He will here. Owens will come off. And you are trailing by 16 in this contest. If you're the Hawks, you don't need to start panicking for 3. It could have called a travel there. They don't. And Charles Moore is the second Hawk to double figures. It's 97-83. A couple of Montgomery turnovers would aid your cause if you're the Mississippi Hawks. That will not. A Haynes 3. It didn't go, but an offensive rebound. 3.5 remaining in the game. It's 97-83. Step up 3 for Montgomery, and those last 2 shots I didn't like from the Knights. You're up by 14 points, and you're chucking 2 threes? Just questionable. Porter the other way. He got stripped on the way in, and a foul called will put Porter at the line. I'd just rather see a team run their offense as going back to the Montgomery 2 threes on that last offensive trip. You know, you're up 14. Why are you shooting threes? At least maybe work the clock a little bit. That hasn't been the forte of either one of these teams tonight. And truth be told, through the other games in the PBA I've seen this season, that has not been the forte of any team I've seen this year. It tends to be a much more up-tempo kind of league. Porter adds to his game high. He's got 34 and now 35. 97-85, down to a dozen. Ties. What a bounce pass to Williams. Just sort of drop it off. 17 and a great assist for Orlando Ties. 99-85. That will stem the tide a little bit. Not that you were in trouble, but you hadn't scored in a couple of trips. And the Hawks have, including there on a putback off the missed three, Quintarius Porter with 37. 99-87. Now, those kind of points you'll take if you're Montgomery. That's a little smarter basketball. Go inside, a high percentage shot. Isaiah Haynes with 14. 101-87. At the other end, Moore with a drop step. Lay it up, put it in. 13 for him. 101-89. Under 3 minutes remaining. Williams in a 4-on-3 down the lane. Flip it up left hand. No. Get the rebound for the stat. That didn't go either on the putback try. And here comes Porter the other way. He'll spot up from three. Get it back on a nice dish. And Porter drains the triple. A 40-point performance for Quintarius Porter. And it's 101-92. The Hawks have gotten it to single digits and the ball. There's a night turnover. Oh, this is huge for Porter. Didn't go. Fell off. Was he fouled? Yes. Quintarius Porter's going to go to the line for three, I would think. And you're down by 9. If you're Mississippi, you could not have asked for a better back half of the quarter after the Knights scored 21 in the first 4:59. And Porter has been the man to lead them tonight. He can make two more. You're within 6. He just steps up to the free throw line and knocks them down. He's made the first 2 for a club that percentage-wise shoots free throws at 66.2% for the year. Porter, one more coming. He made all 3. It's a 6-point game, a 43-point contest for Porter. The Knights are going to turn it over again, or is it off Mississippi? It's going to be Hawk ball. And still 2:17 to go. It's a 2-possession game. Porter with the touch. Now that shot may have been a little rushed, but he has been feeling it. Rebound offensive for Moore, had it knocked away, no foul called. Here comes Hill the other way, in on Porter. Kick out, right wing 3 with 2 minutes on the clock, no good. Why are you shooting threes if you're the Knights? That opens the door for Mississippi. The Hawks miss with Porter's 3. Now both teams sort of rushing the three-point shot. At the rebound from Tice, swing it out. Nice job not to go for the 3. I think that's Jalen Ford, but that time an offensive foul is going to give the Hawks the ball back. Well, I'll say this. Over the last minute and a half to 2 minutes, the Knights have not played smart winning basketball. At least not smart winning closeout games basketball. You have opened the door with the number of threes you've taken and missed to let Mississippi get back in the game. And they have. They're within 6. Although that turnover, that's kind of a killer if you're the Hawks. The other way, heart of the hole, no, but fouled. And that's really all that Porter could do. Just prevent Jalen Ford from making the hoop, make him go to the free throw line. Of Boy, so many opportunities after the 3 converted free throws from Quintarius Porter, who has scored 43. Now, he himself has taken a couple of threes that were seemingly rushed. They are in rhythm, but they were deep. You're the team trailing, so you feel like you got to just sort of put up the first good shot you get. But you still had time to be patient with the ball, and you're only down by 6. You still are after Ford misses the first. Ford has scored 11 tonight. He's got one more. He makes that one. He's got 12. 102-95. We are in the fourth. The final 90 of regulation, if we can talk about that, in the game that does not seem like it was even going to head remotely that way. Here's a shot on rim inside. That goes. You'll trade 2 for 1 if you're Mississippi. Greer's got 8. It's 102-97 in the fourth. Euro step shot of the paint up and in for Orlando Ties, who's got 13. 104-97. We go back and forth, and any turnover at this point could be fatal for the Hawks. Here's an alley-oop lob pass on a layup, good for Haynes. He's got 16. Count the basket and a foul to go with it. And that exchange, the turnover into 2, possibly 3 points, could go a long way to sink the Hawks ship tonight. Well, they had it to 6. They trailed at one juncture by 18. 97-79 in the fourth, and got it to 6. Got it to 5 at 102-97. Free throw, Haynes good, he's got 17. 107-97, and another Hawk turnover. This is not the way you want to get back in the ball game in the last 90 seconds. And add 2 more for Jalen Ford, who's got 14. And 5 is probably the best the Hawks are going to do tonight. My Montgomery foul will put Porter back at the line. He just hit 3 a little while ago. Well, Quintarius Porter, again, it's small sample size. 1 game look at this young man tonight. He has put together one of the better individual games I've seen this year. One more free throw. Chuck Guy for Fort Worth went for 34 when I saw them against the Texas Rough Riders. We are 109-97. Saw the Georgia Vipers earlier this season. Really liked the game that Cortez Chaney can put together. He's a guy that has scoring ability. Now, he didn't have a breakout game that game. We get a technical foul called. And so Porter's going to end up with a couple of more free throws. Jason Seipels had a 20-point game for Dothan, the matchup I saw them in. All right, Porter, it has not gone well in this exchange at the free throw line. And even that last Mississippi game, talked earlier about the contest that Ruben Berry put together. Boy, that guy is a load for the Southwest Florida Blazers. So night basketball after all those free throws that didn't help out the Hawks' cause. Not by 1, beg your pardon. 109-98. Turnover. Porter, is that a 2 or a 3? It was close. They are going to count it for 3. He's got 47. And a timeout. It is 109-101 with 47 to go in the fourth. We'll come back to Lexington in just a moment. So back within 8 are the Hawks at 109-101 in the fourth. Quintarius Porter probably still thinking about that slew of missed free throws recently, but they do get a turnover. Porter through traffic. Spot up, awkward three, in and out, no good. That would have cut it to 5 again. Time certainly of an issue. Hawks with a bunch of offensive chances, can't get anything to go. Tay Greer back on the floor. We get a whistle behind the play, and now what? It'll be Knights basketball to inbound on the sideline with a half a minute remaining in the fourth, up 8. The give to Terrell Hill. Deontay Brown up floor, back on perimeter of the Hill. They give to Brown, no foul yet from the Hawks. Final 19, and there's a foul. So to the line go the Knights. Some personnel issues for the Hawks to sort out. Charles Morgan check in. It is Orlando Ties at the stripe. He's gone for 13. Boy, it is a balanced stat sheet for the Montgomery Knights tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guys in double figures, and Jalen Smith has 8. Could have 8 guys in double digits. They've got 109 as a club. Haynes has 20. Brown's got a dozen. Washington Thomas 16. 12 for Hill. 17 for Williams. Ford with 14. Ties looking for 14 here. Meanwhile, 47 the other way for Quintarius Porter. After that, 13 from Charles Moore. Second one, Ties does have 14, and it's 110 to 101. Final 17 in the game. You would think a Quintarius Porter 3 is coming. He is inbounding. And the inbound nearly stolen, and it comes to the Hawks' final 15. Up floor, now it's just whoever's got it, shoot it. They do, in and out, no good. Rebound to Ford, and the Hawks will let them play it out. And the Montgomery Knights have snapped a 4-game losing streak. They come to Lexington, Mississippi tonight and beat the Hawks 110 to 101. That's your final. Greg Allen saying so long from Home Central High School. The Montgomery Knights now 2-5 host the Dothan Snipers. Next, the Mississippi Hawks fall to 1-6. They're next up against the Chattanooga Spades.